Harambee! Neno hili si hivyo, mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. Yesterday, I paid very close attention to Rigathi Gachagua during his interview with Yvonne Okwara on Citizen TV. And I have one unsolicited advice to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi, please avoid further interviews. They are not going to add any value to your campaigns. I'm saying this because during yesterday's interview, there was nothing really punchy which he talked about. He only repeated the same things he has told Kenyans. But despite that, there are other aspects of that interview which caught my attention.
When he was talking in that meeting, after the meeting, he gave those MPs each 100,000. After complaining that they're asking for money and he doesn't want corruption, why was he giving them 100,000? Those MPs have salaries. Why was he giving him money?
And I'll be analyzing them part by part. In this video, I want us to talk about something he said which really shocked me. That President William Ruto records MPs and he monitors each and every of their moves. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Ruto is recording and monitoring each and every moves by the members of parliament? What Rigathi stated, in my view, is actually the truth. Because at some point I spoke to a member of parliament and he hinted to the same. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua was William Ruto's deputy for some time and they were very close. Which means whenever the president recorded some of these MPs, he would go back and share with him. But let me not get into that for now. I want you guys to listen to Rigathi Gachagua very closely, this short part, because it's going to form the basis of this analysis.
But let me tell the members of parliament and senate what is happening. And they'll thank me one day. I know William Ruto like the back of my hand. I stayed with him. This is what is happening. Most of these senators and members of parliament, except from Rift Valley, know that William Ruto is done his one term. And they know if they are in UDA, they will be sent packing. So they have been talking in bars, in social places, saying we are with Ruto to get what we can. Next year, we'll defect. They have been saying we are waiting for the last budget. Once we get our projects, we'll have to align with the people because if we go in UDA, we shall not be elected. William Ruto said he's a consumer of raw intelligence. He monitors all these MPs. You can ask me, I was his deputy. He has a file on each one of them. All this money he was bribing them, he has recordings. Ask me, I was his deputy. There is another senator who went to collect some money from some businessmen from Nakuru. I've even seen the video. He has all these recordings for all these bribes, for all these things the MPs have been doing. William Ruto is a smart man. He knew one day these guys can shortchange him and they can abandon him. So he knows that next year there will be mass exodus. So this multi-agency team he has formed is to collect evidence and create files on all leaders in Kenya. And he'll call them one by one. I hear you want to leave UDA and go to DCP and go to Wiper. This is your file. Try. Next week you are in court. Same for governors, same for everybody. Why would William Ruto want to take over investigations? He said when he formed the government that he'll make sure the National Police Service is independent. He'll give it money. He'll make sure judiciary is independent. He'll make sure the DPP is independent. Today he is saying he wants to form a multi-agency team under the office of the president to deal with corruption. I can tell you, and I want to tell these members of parliament, you will have to stick with William Ruto to the end. You'll go home together, because the minute you try to move and abandon him, like it happened to Moi in the year 2002, he will have a file on all of you. So all those senators who took money during my impeachment, all those MPs who took money during my impeachment, all those MPs who took money for the finance bill. All those MPs who have been taking money from William Ruto and his cronies for various things in Parliament, William Ruto has a file on each one of you, and none of you will be able to abandon him. For the money that you took, you have to stick with William Ruto up to the ballot.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Rigathi Gachagua. In this video, I want us to analyze that speech. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, during the last campaign, William Ruto made a promise to Kenyans. This is the promise William Ruto made to Kenyans.
My question is, what is your Kenya Kwanza plan on fighting corruption? Secondly, myself and many other youths are on CLB listing. What is your plan?
As Kenya Kwanza, our strategy on fighting corruption is in depoliticizing and removing the weaponization of our criminal justice system, and instead building those institutions, the capacity of those institutions, whether it is the DCI, whether it's the EACC, whether it's the entire police force. We want them to have an independent budget. We want them to control their budget the way they know how. We want them to investigate every incident without hindrance and without looking back, without anybody telling them that if they go this way, they will not get funding. That is why we are removing, this office of the President Accounting Officer in charge of the police. We want the police to do their thing on their own.
But it is now very clear that the president is actually weaponizing those institutions. President Ruto recently chaired ODM UDA parliamentary group meeting in Nairobi. And during that meeting, the president said something which actually I think Rigathi Gachagua was responding to. And if you paid close attention to what the president was saying at that time, it is very clear that the president has a lot of information, a lot of recordings, a lot of evidence on these MPs. Listen in.
Let me ask you, members of parliament who are seated here. Do you, for example, know, that a few members of your committee collected 10 million shillings so that you could pass that law on anti-money laundering? Did you get the money? So, going forward, si tunataka tukubaliane, si we are one team. Yes, there are people who are destroying the credibility of parliament. And they are collecting money in the name of parliament. And some of the time, or most of the time, that money never gets to parliament, it gets to a few people. We are not going to shame them. We are going to arrest them. Yes. Do we agree? Do we agree?
And from the tone and the way the president delivered that speech to MPs, he delivered them in confidence because he knows what he's talking about.
Let us stop the extortion. Yes. Very few leaders can stand here and tell you to stop the extortion that is going on in parliament. I'm telling you the truth. Very few leaders. Because we like making peace with mediocrity.
But the question is, why would the president use the recorded evidence against MPs? Number one, I think Ruto is using the information from the intelligence to blackmail MPs, senators, and even governors. particularly to support his legislative agenda in parliament. For example, William Ruto wanted the finance bill to pass. Most MPs were actually opposed to that finance bill, but they ended up supporting it. Even this issue of SHA, most MPs, even those who supported it, if you were to sit with them, they'll tell you they really did not believe in it. But they have to pass because they were part of William Ruto's agenda. So the thing is, Ruto comes to you, you meet him, then it tells you, can you have a look at this? Then as an MP, you realize, oh, I took 5 million there. These guys wanajua hii maneno. Ama you awarded a tender there illegally. So you become slave. So if you are told, wewe, hii maneno ulifanya, kuna ingine hapa fanya. But now your allegiance, your independence is impaired. It's blackmail. Number 2, Ruto is a very shrewd politician. He worked very closely with Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, and he's been a student of Raila Odinga. During the period, William Ruto mastered the art of statecraft. I know it's the president. He wants to know who is with me here, who is not with me. So he has these MPs, all of them, under the radar. So zazile wanaongea vitu zao, zazile wamekunywa, they are just talking, they are recorded. Then Ruto is send the recordings. Ngira mimi nitakuwa tu na here, I'll just be with him for now, then nitamwacha. So he knows that this one is not with me, huyu, this one is with me. And that's how William Ruto has been able to plan his politics. Have you ever asked yourself why Ndindi Nyoro fell out with Ruto? Maybe something like this. I'm just thinking. Number 3 is to compromise the independence of MPs. Do you know any president in the world? Do you know any president in the world who would want to have independent MPs? None. Each and every president would want parliament which they control. How do you control parliament? You bait MPs. You make them fall into deals. And then they become your slaves. And importantly, which is my 4th point, I think William Ruto is using this information as preemptive measures. For example, through these recordings, William Ruto knew that this MP is likely to vote this way. So you are called, you are shown this, then now he can plan that, of course, I have these MPs who are for this bill, these ones are not for it. So he can easily identify the ones who are opposed, approach them, persuade them. So it's preemptive. So it's, in my view, it's preemptive. And lastly, taking charge. Information is power. Once you have information, once you have dirty information, you are good to go. Robert Greene tells us that as a politician, you should despise free lunch. Because if you take free lunch, you'll have to pay for it somewhere. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.